Norway's hyper-polished capital city, Oslo projects images of a flawless, crime-free Scandinavian paradise. A utopian society funded by massive oil wealth, filled with futuristic architecture, clean electric vehicles, and peaceful fjord vistas. But behind this immaculate facade lies a highly aggressive, silent financial meat grinder. Oslo is structurally engineered to liquidate your travel capital with absolute mathematical precision. Welcome to Before You Go Travel Official. If you want to master the world's most expensive destinations without destroying your net worth, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on all notifications. Do not become another tourist casualty to Scandinavian price shocks. Let us deconstruct the trillion-dollar oil illusion. To truly decode this clinical urban landscape, we must analyze its deep historic foundation. Unlike Central European capitals filled with ornate imperial palaces, Oslo was historically a rugged, wooden garrison town called Christiania. The city suffered catastrophic fires for centuries until corporate planners rebuilt it with a sterile, hyper-modern aesthetic. Today, the city centre is dominated by the Barricade project, a row of sleek, high-rise office buildings that look beautiful in architectural magazines. But this minimalist design is a psychological camouflage. It masks a brutal housing and real estate monopoly that leaves zero room for budget hospitality, forcing regular global travelers into deep financial compromises. The extraction of your capital triggers the exact millisecond you touch ground at Oslo Airport Gardermoen. The local transport authority markets the Flytoget high-speed airport train as the premier, elite way to reach the city centre. This is your very first amateur financial trap. The Flytoget train charges an astronomical premium for a journey that takes 20 minutes. Meanwhile, the standard regional state train called RE10 runs on the exact same tracks, leaves from the exact same terminal, arrives at the exact same central station, and takes the exact same amount of time for nearly half the price. If you try to bypass the train networks by bringing a rental vehicle into Oslo, you enter a digital toll warfare. The local government enforces an ultra-strict green transport embargo. The entire city is surrounded by multiple concentric rings of automated toll stations called Fjellinjen. These cameras scan your license plate constantly, charging massive fees based on your vehicle's fuel type and the exact hour of the day. Furthermore, street parking in downtown Oslo is intentionally sabotaged by city planners. Non-resident parking spaces have been systematically removed, and the remaining parking garages charge up to $12 per single hour. This aggressive anti-car logistics channels you directly into the local accommodation bottleneck. The lodging market in Oslo is notoriously flat, dominated almost entirely by high-end corporate business chains like Radisson, Thon and Scandic. There are virtually no independent, budget-friendly boutique hotels within the city limits. A standard compact room with a basic breakfast routinely crosses $300 per night during peak season. Even the hostel market is an illusion, with a single bed in a shared dorm room at Aker Hostel costing more than a private luxury room in Eastern Europe. To shield your travel funds from this hospitality tax, you must execute a geographic retreat. Look entirely outside the central ring toward the residential districts of Grünerløkka or Tøyen. Grünerløkka is the historic working-class industrial hub of Oslo, now transformed into a vibrant hipster district. Here you can find private apartment rentals and alternative guest houses for a fraction of corporate hotel prices, while staying connected to the center via the highly efficient tram lines. For the global workforce of digital nomads, Oslo is a hostile ecosystem. The local economy is mathematically unsustainable for remote workers earning standard international currencies. Independent cafes have a fierce cultural resistance against laptops. They explicitly disable their Wi-Fi networks and remove power outlets from walls to prevent remote freelancers from occupying tables for hours while drinking a single $7 filter coffee. If you absolutely must run your digital business from Oslo, your only free refuge is the Deichman Bjørvika Public Library. This stunning 6-story architectural masterpiece sits right next to the Opera House. It offers completely free gigabit internet, modern silent workstations and state-of-the-art media labs without requiring any membership or financial investment. The cultural and museum landscape of Oslo is undeniably world-class, but it represents a massive vertical spending trap. The brand new, monumentally massive Munch Museum and the ultra-luxurious National Museum charge some of the highest entry fees in Europe. If you walk into these institutions independently, your daily travel budget will be instantly obliterated. To bypass this cultural tax, you must utilize the Oslo Pass, but you must calculate your itinerary like a financial analyst. The pass delivers free entry to 30 museums and unlimited public transport, but it only yields a positive return if you pack 3 major museum visits into a single 12-hour window. If you want world-class art for absolutely zero cost, skip the museums entirely and walk through the Vigeland Sculpture Park. This is a monumental open-air park featuring over 200 raw granite and bronze sculptures created by Gustav Vigeland, completely free to the public 24 hours a day. Your next target is the iconic Oslo Opera House, which looks like a massive white glacier sliding directly into the dark waters of the Oslo Fjord. The building is covered in Italian Carrara marble and white granite. The marketing tells you to purchase expensive tickets for an indoor performance. Do not fall for it. The true value of this architectural marvel is entirely public. You can legally walk directly up the sloping stone roof of the building for free, experiencing a spectacular, unobstructed panoramic view of the fjord and the city's skyline without spending a single krone. From the Opera House, you must navigate your way to the historic Akershus fortress. This is a grand medieval castle built in the late 13th century to protect the city against foreign naval invasions. Walking through the massive stone walls, dark drawbridges and historic courtyards costs absolutely nothing. It provides a deeply atmospheric journey into Norway's military history entirely at your own pace. For a dramatic escape into nature, take the local public ferry from the Aker Brygge pier to the historic islands of the Oslo Fjord, specifically Hovedøya or Gressholmen. These pristine islands are filled with lush forests, rocky beaches, and the eerie ruins of medieval monasteries from the year 1147. While commercial tour boats charge $40 for a Fjord cruise, these public commuter ferries are integrated directly into the standard city transit card, allowing you to sail across the historic waters for the price of a basic bus ticket. When it comes to personal safety, Oslo is statistically one of the safest capital cities on the face of the earth. Violent crime is extraordinarily rare, and the local police force is highly trusted and efficient. You can walk through almost any neighborhood at 3 in the morning with absolute peace of mind. However, the city is not entirely immune to modern urban realities. The central area surrounding the Oslo Central Station, known as Jernbanetorget, and the lower sections of the Johans Gate pedestrian street can become crowded with aggressive pickpockets and scammers during the summer peak. Keep your valuables secured, ignore street gamblers, and you will remain completely safe. Dismantling Oslo's culinary matrix requires a total boycott of traditional sit-down restaurants. Because Norway imposes massive corporate taxes and high minimum wages, a basic dinner for 2 at a standard mid-range restaurant will easily cross $150 away. To find affordable, high-calorie fuel, you must master the local street food networks. Look for the traditional Norwegian Narvesen and 7-Eleven kiosks found on every street corner. Unlike convenience stores in America, Norwegian kiosks serve high-quality, fresh food. Order a classic pølse, a premium Norwegian sausage wrapped in a unique potato tortilla called a lompe, topped with raw onions and sweet mustard. It is an authentic, filling local staple that costs less than $6. For a modern, global culinary experience, head directly to the Mathallen Oslo Food Hall located in the Vulcan district. This historic industrial building is filled with boutique food stalls serving everything from Spanish tapas to fresh Nordic cheeses. To find the true culinary soul of the region, you must hunt down authentic smoked salmon and brunost. Brunost is a legendary Norwegian brown cheese made from whey, milk, and cream, boiled down until the sugars caramelize, giving it a rich, sweet, fudge-like flavor. Skip the overpriced hotel breakfasts and head straight to a local Rema 1000 or Kiwi discount grocery store. Buy a package of pre-sliced brunost, a loaf of fresh whole wheat bread from their automated bakery, and a pack of cold, smoked salmon. You can assemble a true king-level Nordic breakfast for less than $10. What the glossy luxury travel channels deliberately hide from you is that Oslo operates as a hyper-efficient, entirely cashless corporate ecosystem. Physical paper cash is treated with extreme suspicion, and many modern public buses, coffee shops, and ticket kiosks will outright refuse to accept paper bills. You must possess a zero foreign transaction debit card to survive here. Furthermore, the local government enforces a ruthless state monopoly on alcohol called Vinmonopolet. You cannot buy standard wine or spirits in a regular grocery store. They are only sold at specific state-run stores that close incredibly early on Saturdays and remain completely shut on Sundays, with prices heavily taxed to discourage consumption. Oslo is undeniably an urban masterpiece, and a masterclass in modern Scandinavian civilization. The absolute safety, the architectural precision, and the ease of mobility are completely real. But it is a destination that will ruthlessly erase your financial savings if you follow the standard tourist track. By mastering the state trains, utilizing the free library workstations, eating from local kiosks, and riding the public commuter ferries across the fjord, you can shatter the Norwegian price matrix, experiencing the absolute pinnacle of Scandinavia entirely on your own terms. Subscribe to Before You Go Travel Official right now. Leave a comment below. Would you challenge the hyper-expensive oil matrix of Oslo, or do you prefer a more affordable European destination? Let's analyze your smart travel strategies in the comments below. Safe travels.